Chandrayaan, after Chandrayaan 2 failure, now ISRO going to launch the Chandrayaan 3. So what was the difference in both?
Only four main engines in Chandrayaan 3, whereas in Chandrayaan 2 we had 4 main engines and additional main engine at the center of the lander. So that the additional one was removed in Chandrayaan 3 right now.
Can you explain the last 15 minutes of terror? Why does it call it 15 minutes of terror?
Yeah, the last 15 minutes, like the Chandrayaan 3 lander will have power descent like before 15 minutes. From there, the rough braking starts. So all the 4 engines will be firing. From the moment the 2 engines gets fired off, it's called fine braking phase.
How do you see the race between the countries India, China, America and Russia's moon missions?
So the main reason is the detection of water in moon's south poles, because if there is water in moon's south poles, then there is a reason we can have permanent moon bases.
How did you find the debris of Chandrayaan 2?
So Chandrayaan 2, after the Chandrayaan 2 had crash landed on the particular site, so NASA released some publicly images from the LRO orbiter. So what I did was I searched through those images inch by inch, pixel by pixel on that particular 2 into 2 kilometer area. And after that, I was able to find a tiny white speck, which was not found in any of the older images that was taken in July or June. So after comparing the images and confirming, I did reach out to a couple of LRO scientists as well as NASA scientists on this. And after they also verified that in the subsequent images of LRO on October and November. And based on the tip, whatever I gave, they searched around in the surrounding areas and they were able to find the Chandrayaan 2 engine as well as the other debris that was scattered across. So based on that, I think they appreciated me for finding the debris. I think as far as Chandrayaan 2 is concerned, though it's sad, it's kind of a sweet achievement, not only for me but also for the common citizens, I would say so.
What was the NASA's first reaction when you found out the debris of Chandrayaan 2?
So the first response was usually like cold, so they were not. So I actually reached out to LRO scientists because LRO is different from NASA. So they were initially skeptical about whatever I found out in October. But after that, again reached out to them a couple of times in October and November. And the third time was lucky because they did find, okay, this might be a debris, they thought, and they further verified and found that the debris was actually spattered across the surface itself. Because first they were refusing to believe that the debris would be something like this, because they were looking at the debris might be something like very spattered across like the other landers which crash landed on moon.
Okay. So what exactly happened to the Chandrayaan 2 landers? Why it went to crash?
Okay. So the reason might be something went wrong in the fine braking phase. The rough braking phase, it all went successful without any issues. The fine braking phase, there was some errors in the fine braking itself, due to which the errors got accumulated and the system was not able to overcome or rectify those errors. So the engine was supposed to fire for additional amount of seconds, but it didn't fire after the fine braking was over. So that's the main reason for crash landing of Chandrayaan 2 lander. So even this was denoted by ISRO chairman in one of the YouTube interviews he gave a few weeks ago. So this was like a similar reason, like he also gave the same reason, like there was errors which was failed to rectify by the lander. So that's the main reason behind the failure of the lander itself.
Okay. So if Chandrayaan, after Chandrayaan 2 failure, now ISRO going to launch the Chandrayaan 3. So what was the difference in both? Between both?
So the main difference between Chandrayaan 2 and Chandrayaan 3 is, so we have got only 4 main engines in Chandrayaan 3, whereas in Chandrayaan 2 we had 4 main engines and additional main engine at the center of the lander. So that the additional one was removed in Chandrayaan 3 right now. And we also removed the payloads, some of the payloads, and the payloads have been replaced by more cameras. So we have got something like 8 cameras, lander detection cameras, as well as hazard avoidance cameras like this. We have got 8 different cameras in 8 different areas of Chandrayaan-2 lander, and also we have got a lot of sensors in Chandrayaan-2 lander, because this is like the sensors, even if one sensor goes wrong, the other sensor will give the correct data, which will help the system to land the lander correctly without any issues. So that's the major difference. So we have got fewer payloads, but more sensors and cameras to land successfully on Moon.
Can you explain the last 15 minutes of terror? Why does it call it 15 minutes of terror?
Yeah, the last 15 minutes, like the Chandrayaan-3 lander will have power descent like before 15 minutes. From there, the rough braking starts. So all the four engines will be firing. And once it comes to a certain distance, the four engines, out of those four engines, two engines will be shut off. Only two engines will be firing. From the moment the two engines gets fired off, it's called fine braking phase, where it will reduce some more distance. And at a distance of 1 kilometer to 800 meters from the lunar surface, it will over the surface and see like where it can land exactly. And the system, then again, it will initiate a power descent slowly. And around 100 meters or 100 to 150 meters, it will again search for a landing site to land, like what is the best site to land based on the images that has been already stored in the lander. And once it selects a site, it will then begin slowly very slow descent, and once it lands, it will switch off the engines.
How do you see the race between the countries, America, Russia, India, and China, continuous moon missions?
So the main reason is the detection of water in Moon's south poles, because if there is water in Moon's south poles, then there is a reason we can have permanent moon bases where we can have like we can travel to other planets also. Like we can have a moon base in South Pole, and from there we can launch a spacecraft which can go to Mars and other planets also. So that's the main reason behind competition between different countries. So this is just similar to like where we are having stations in Antarctica. Like if we have a moon base on Moon, then we can communicate directly. We can have deep space telescopes, and we can use it for a lot of other purposes also, which will be beneficial for humankind. So that's the main reason behind different countries are competing for a pie of Moon, that is particularly Moon South Pole, because the research shows that it has large amount of water ice stored in Moon South Pole. So that's the main reason behind the competition.
Sure, sir. Thank you for your comments.
Thanks.